Well, then it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness's account of her own professional history. We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid the cough-up queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned. Hold it! Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? So we did indeed screw the can shut. Whoever has said that phrase. I would have said, looks like we put the lid back on that lunchbox, you know, or something like that. Would have been a bit more clever. That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have a decisive evidence. What's that? It's another one of her trick lunchboxes. My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Ms. Starr. Ah. This is your jumbo lunchbox? Ooh, a triple-decker. For God's sake. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony, and it will give him a chance to eat as well while we're doing it. Calamari, yeah. Like I said, they look like rubber bands. They're horrible. Let's hear about this decisive evidence, shall we? Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. The other blood type matched that of the defendant, Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. You know, the gum shoe, quite literally. More like the blood shoe. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Objection! Witness, what is the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. Which would not be admissible as evidence in a court because of chain of custody issues, but oh well, you know. And you had the blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. I thought she had 3 boyfriends. But, well, she had 2 and the 3rd slot was open. Angel, this is not the time. We've already had lunch. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence. At least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It is right. It seems so. Edgeworth is sure is celebrating. That's it, the forensics could have planted it. We do know that there are people on the police team that have a grudge against the defendant. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective, and as I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a number of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Grrr. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. He actually looks like he's about to blow his lid. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Yes, she has boyfriends. Multiple. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. So why would it have Lana Skye's blood on it? Did she get injured as well? This wasn't in any testimony that we've seen. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. poly representation. Gotta, you know, get that diversity in gaming, right? I should have mentioned these 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, deranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. The thing is, I never get this, because she should be helping the prosecutors out to prosecute this person she says is guilty. That's their whole fucking job. Check the picture again? Oh, we will. We'll have a look at everything, don't worry. Let's just get through the testimony first. This is when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable of crimes of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. Is the chief another boyfriend? Ooh, you don't know. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? You found this shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch who snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. Yes, apparently it carries shoes covered in blood. Right next to edible items of food. I should call the health inspector on this. When is break time? In about 15 minutes. I require refreshments. Yep, we'll be getting on with that soon. I am happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were on the shoe, one was of course the victim's. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit everything as evidence in the court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analysed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And I gotta say, from what he's wearing, look at all in that white. He would wear that white shoe, right? And the blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? You need to do a DNA test, not just a blood type test. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person, or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten the DNA test result, but they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. But the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. You have some nice tea you can try? You got it from a Brighton store? Ooh, yummy. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. Do we actually have that test, by the way? Let me have a look at everything. We haven't analysed any of this shit yet, have we? All we've got is the shoe. So let's have a look. What do we have? So there's the blood. This blood, it's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when we saw her in jail. That's right. Oh, she did actually cut herself. She cut herself at the time of the crime. But when? When she stabbed? Or when she was being arrested? Ah! There's blood here too, on the sole of the shoe. It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in his own puddle of his own blood. Well, where is that puddle of blood? All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. Yeah. Ooh, I remember this case had 3D things for the DS. And where did all that blood come from? Yeah. The question is also going to be, when did she cut her own hand? Because here, supposedly she doesn't have a cut hand. So this happened after the stabbing. So how would it be on his shoe? So yeah, that's curious. Yeah, blood on the bottom of a shoe would mean sometime after the incident, so it was walked on. Exactly. And there's no blood on the floor of the garage. There's no pools of blood that he could have stepped in. Exactly, yeah, there was no blood in the car park. Can't let this evidence go without a fight. You ordered peppered fish guts, right? I ordered no such thing. Remove that immediately. Ugh. Fish guts? Ew. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, did you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? There is a problem with the shoe. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. No, please don't. Oh god, get that out of my face. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Ugh. Chai, hello! Good morning, sweetheart. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with the evidence. Oh my god. So which one is it? Is it the blood on the bottom or the blood on the top that's the problem? Because if he was stabbed, wouldn't he also have his blood on the top as well? Yeah, like if you were to step through a puddle, water prints are seen after where you walk. Exactly, yeah, he would have left his own footprints as well, wouldn't he? If his feet never touched the ground in the car park, that would explain why there's no blood at all. So when did this happen? I wonder if you noticed there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Alright, we all heard that, right? She threatened my life. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. Yeah, why is it on his bottom of his shoe, not the top? What could possibly be a contradictory about the bottom of the shoe? Okay, so which one of these causes the contradiction? Is it this? Yeah, exactly. The scene of the crime is not the scene of the crime. At the beginning of the stream, I made the point that the fact that the body was half out of the trunk, torso back, shows that he wasn't being put in the trunk. He was being pulled out of it. So he was already in the trunk when Edgeworth brought his car back. The guy might have been murdered at the police station and stuffed into Edgeworth's trunk. Where is the giant puddle of blood, exactly? And this crime photo doesn't have blood, so that must be the only thing we can show. Because yeah, like I say, if you're going to stuff a body in the trunk of a car, you don't load them feet first. You put the torso in first and then lift the feet in, because it's easier. Especially, you know, given the fact that he'd be a big guy, right? So he wasn't killed in the garage, means she couldn't have seen a stabbing at all. She probably saw her with the knife, because maybe she opened the trunk and saw the body, saw the knife, pulled it all out, like, oh my god, what is this? And then Oh, I get it. I get this as well. Right, the gloves, the gloves. Of course she's wearing gloves. They're cleaning out that day, right? They're cleaning out evidence from their lockers. They were doing cleanup day. She would be wearing these gloves. She was probably expecting to be able to take something out of the trunk of the car. She doesn't want to get her fingerprints all over evidence. So she's wearing them because she's been handling evidence during cleanup day. You're gonna play big? Oh, look at that big bet. Heck yeah. So that's why she's wearing gloves. I got it. But yeah, we're gonna present this. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Whoa, you won! Nice. Nope, the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange why there aren't any bloody footprints around the scene of the crime? Phoenix, there's no need for that language. Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Objection again! Then where are they, Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. The cleaner's coming quick at this place. Order, order! Well, witness? What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprints is a contradiction, but then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. He wasn't killed there. That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. No, Phoenix, listen to me. Wasn't murdered in the garage. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Nani? You're getting refunds? Yeah, you're basically winning the money back because you're getting the lowest possible thing. I might tweak those so that you get a little something back. I don't know if I can. I'll have to have a look at the bot commands. I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oh, there was water in the drum. Gonna wash the footprints away. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? I'm not sure I liked your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth, though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha, you don't mean? Yes, the suspect knocked that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would have become evidence against her. Ah! Oh dear. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to the murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's speciality, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? No, she didn't actually say anything about that, did she? But if her right hand was hurt, how would she be able to, you know, grip and stab? Because she said she stabbed her with the right hand. So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. Uh-oh. Court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. Hold it! Oh, who? What? Who? Little girl, what did you just say? Oh boy. Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing of the bloody footprints. Well, Lick. I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Oh my god, she's going to say enough now that might actually undo everything she's said. Cool, go for it. Oh, another lunchbox. A lunchbox called Evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. Another picture. A photograph? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo. Yeah, there's no blood there either. Oh, it's clearly wet though. Yeah, that too. Also, what is that in the exhaust pipe? There's something in the exhaust pipe. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Oh, here she comes again. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Yeah, Lana's like, I have sinned, please jail me. Where is this other photo then? Do we not have it now? I was going to check it real quick. Alright, let's just see where this goes. Your Honor, wait. What is with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? No. Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, this last one submitted. The trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence a proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with the last piece of evidence? Yeah. I'll think later. Yes, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in the photograph. Well, that's consistent. The knife wound. There's blood on the shoe. So could this be it then? The weird thing in here? Whatever the heck it is. It must be, yeah. I don't know what it is, but the problem with this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait, just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor. You just said muffler. See, that's when she said about a red muffler. I immediately thought about a car. piece, you know, not a scarf. I've never heard anybody call a scarf a muffler, but I just assumed it was a cultural thing. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part of a car or a motorcycle you're on. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. There's a muffler in the muffler. What's suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Flick. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to the case. Well, the word muffler was overheard in the call to Ema, but to what end? We haven't really spoken to Ema about that. Ema said that she didn't actually receive a call, so maybe she wasn't talking to Ema, she was talking to herself. Because we already know that in this picture she didn't have it on, but we've already proven that. That's now nothing to do. We now know where it was. It was there, but why? Ms. Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused with my earlier testimony. We can pull this apart now. Because she said she thought that the red scarf that she wears was blood, and therefore she thought she'd stabbed her multiple times. Stabbed him, sorry. Alchemist! Hey dude, how's it going? They were looking for a muffler for a 67 Chevy? Yeah. Muffler? Yeah. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? Again, this has nothing to do with anything. If so, that means this piece of cloth is a vital evidence. Oh. I love how people just lose their shit when you show where they're wrong and they're like... Well, it seems we have to suspend the proceedings until we can gather that evidence. We bought a day. Suspend. I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Phew. That was close. But we made it, at least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. You've just had like 5 lunch boxes. Seriously. He's still hungry? He had 2 caviar lunchboxes and the triple-decker special. Come on. But then again, everyone else has got to eat, so maybe he's just being considerate.